Okay, I tell you that this is Kpakamtv Television broadcast, and today our cameras were live in the oil city of Warri, where we're bringing to you the expanded Niger Delta stakeholder meeting from the Office of the Presidential Amnesty and the women of the Niger Delta. Today you can see that we have a lot of women all seated here to deliberate with the Amnesty boss, Dr. Dennis Otwaru. They are paying their plight on the way forward on how developing the women of the Niger Delta. Today is going to be the expanded discussion between the Presidential Amnesty boss, Dennis Otwaru, and the Niger Delta women on how to make these women, how the women can be carried along in terms of bringing development to the women of the Niger Delta. I'm Michel Dao Beminatam Sokomen, and of course, this is Kpakamtv. I'm bringing to you expanded stakeholder meeting between the Office of the Presidential Amnesty and the Niger Delta women.
In order to have said here, so that we have a complete data, we have a woman that will be accessible, that will pick calls, that will reach out to the women, and every issue that we have tabled here today will be channeled to. I've had an issue where when you have issues with the amnesty, you will call the men ceaselessly almost a week. You will not get a response. No reciprocation. Sir, in one voice, if I'm speaking the voice of the women, today, let there be a female directorate table.
Sit down to appeal directly to the Niger Delta region and everybody that has or do not have a drop of oil or gas, as long as you're from the Niger Delta. I want to let you know that you need to know that Nigeria.
The coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Dr. Dennis Otwaru, in his quest of total working together of the Niger Delta stakeholders in bringing peace, development, and empowerment. In its Niger Delta expanded stakeholders meeting with the team working together, Dr. Dennis Otwaru has collaborated with the women of the Niger Delta for peace building, empowerment, and economic growth in the region. The Amnesty boss, Dr. Dennis Otwaru, recognizing the pivotal role women played in long-term development and stability in the region. The PAP boss, Dr. Dennis Otwaru, seek to promote inclusiveness and peaceful coexistence by integrating women into decision-making process and equipping them with essential skills and resources. The expanded Niger Delta stakeholders meeting between Dennis Otwaru and the Niger Delta women was well captured by Kpakamtv CEO Tams Okumbre and his Kpakamtv crew. Stay glued and watch the full deliberation between the PAP boss Dennis Otwaru and the Niger Delta women in the expanded Niger Delta stakeholders meeting. Michel Dao Beminatam Okumbre is my name. Happy viewing.
Recognize Kirsten's mother as well, and I do so because some of us have been indeed right from the beginning of this issue. Is it the time that Camp 5 existed? Is it the time that Baramatu was bombed? Is it the time that the person I call with all pride my son, Chief Government Kpakamtv, who when we finally met, we said to each other, I didn't know that this is how you looked. We both said that to each other because we're both small in figure, in stature, skinny. Well, he's probably more quiet than I am, but we were surprised at the personality of each other. We have come a very long way. Amnesty is something that, whether it is liked or not, people, our sons, played a major role. But without, we the mothers, as the administrator, my son, has also said, that without the mothers, it would have been very difficult for them to achieve what they had achieved. Without their wives, without their sisters, without their daughters, no matter how small. I remember when my son, TP, his daughter was very, very small when I first met her. And he hardly was seeing her at that time. Those are the type of sacrifices that they have made, and mothers, the mothers, their wives have also made. So we have come a very long way. I must thank you, because at the time that eventually amnesty was accepted, before amnesty was accepted, there were people that said that these are criminals, these are pirates, these are this, these are that. And I stood up with all humility. I like ownership. I stood up and I said, no, they are not criminals, they are my sons. They are fighting for something. Today, I'm 72 years old. So today is not my birthday. I mean, as I stand before you, I am 72. So I'm not a small girl, but I'm not old either. I'm not old either. A lot of men have taken charge of the amnesty program. We're not begrudging that process. But yes, somewhere along the line, the women that paid a very high sacrifice were not part of the process. I don't like saying carried along. Nobody is carrying anybody along. We were part of the process. We made the same sacrifices. I entered the same uncomfortable boats, sometimes at 8 o'clock in the night, to get to certain places. And so when amnesty was accepted, yes, our sons carried the guns, and some of them paid dearly because they are no longer here. But some of them survived, and we thank God for the ones that survived. And administrator, you're one of those people that survived. You're one of those people, Godfrey, that survived. And my son, TP, that survived. And we thank God for that. And yes, I agree. And I am happy that moving forward, women are now recognized as part of this process that made sure that the output of oil was no longer 700,000 barrels, because some of us made sure that our sons, our brothers, accepted to lay down their arms, not because they were afraid, but because we appealed to them to lay down their arms, because we thought that we had been heard. But somewhere along the line, I personally still doubt the fact that the Niger Delta people have actually been heard. We have not been heard. They are still joking with the Niger Delta region. They are still playing with the Niger Delta region. We still are the people that are supplying and giving unwillingly, as far as I'm concerned. But we are still providing what Nigeria needs to survive. And I believe that they are yet, when I say they, I mean Nigeria is still to recognize the capacity of Niger Delta women. Because if they recognize the capacity and that perhaps our capacity as mothers, as wives, as sisters, as daughters is even greater than the capacity of the men, I think they will take us more seriously. And that, to demonstrate that, we don't have to be violent to demonstrate that. All we have to be is mothers and sisters and daughters sit down to appeal directly to the Niger Delta region and everybody that has or do not have a drop of oil or gas, as long as you're from the Niger Delta. I want to let you know that you need to know that Nigeria cannot move forward without the women of the Niger Delta region. And the peace, if it is peace, that is enjoyed in Nigeria today, that the government is enjoying in Nigeria today, is because we the women, we the mothers, have said that this is the time that there should be this level of peace. The administrator has told us what he's doing for women, what he's going to do for women. I want him to believe and know that we will hold him to what he has promised us today, and that he will be able to tell the government in the future that his mothers, his grandmothers, his sisters, his wives believed him and listened to him, and that is why today or tomorrow they will have the peace that will come with the unity of the women of the Niger Delta. Finally, please, men, the ones that are not here, please tell your brothers that the first thing they must be able to do and bring to the table is give respect to women. We must be respected. Women must be respected. There is too much disrespect from the men folk to their women folk. Respect us. Thank you very much.